Are these the best wedges that Cleveland has ever made? Well, in this video I'm going to try and answer that question for you. I'll run you through all the technology that's packed into these all new RTX ZipCore wedges and let you know why Cleveland are making some pretty big claims about the performance that they deliver. I'll also let you know how I got on after testing them. I've been testing quite a lot over the last few weeks, both out in the golf course and also using the SkyTrack launch monitor, so I'll flash up some numbers on the screen later on as well. But first off, before I run into all that, before I give you my thoughts, if you're new to our YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button below, give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you. Now, we all know that Cleveland makes some of the best wedges in the business and have done so for decades, but what is it that's leading them to claim that the ZipCore is their best ever? Well, it's in the name. It's something called ZipCore technology. This low density core is located in the centre of these wedges. Now, what that means, Cleveland are saying, is that you get greater MOI both high and low in the face. So what that means is, if you're striking it not bang sweet out the middle, if you're missing your shot slightly low and high, you're going to get more consistent launch conditions, more consistent spin, so that even if you're not, hitting them absolutely pure every time, you're going to see consistency. And that's what you want when you're attacking pins from short range. So it's going to retain similar kind of spin rates on miss hits, but also great feel. And that's really the big headline technology with these new wedges. It's why Cleveland are saying they're going to offer greater feel, consistency, forgiveness and spin than anything before. Now, they wouldn't be Cleveland wedges if they didn't spin like crazy, and with the ZipCore we have some all new Ulti-Zip grooves. Now, Cleveland are saying these grooves are 11% sharper, but 7% space closer together and about 7% deeper. And that combination just means you're going to get silly amounts of spin, both on full shots and in shots around the green. Just going to give you that control you want when trying to get up and down or when trying to set yourself up for a birdie. Also, we have a new heat treatment process. Now, what does that mean? It basically means that that spinniness, that fresh groove feel is going to last longer. They're going to be more durable. There's no doubt after 50, 60, 70 rounds maybe of playing with your wedges, you can start to see those levels of spin really deteriorate. You're not getting the control that you once had once you took the wrappers off. However, with that new heat treatment process, you should see that spin just retain, round after round after round. Even, once you've been knocking about for months and months with these wedges, you're still going to get the kind of spin you need and the kind of spin you would expect from a Cleveland wedge. So, big fan of that new heat treatment process because, it's all about how well that spin lasts. It's all good when it's brand new, taking the wrapper off. We know how great fresh grooves are, but to retain that spin over a longer period is fantastic. Now, there are plenty of loft and bounce options to choose from. There are also a few different finishes, so if this kind of tour satin look isn't to your liking, then there's a few other options out there for you. Plus, we have 3 different sole grind options. Now, I've gone for the mid option. We also have a low sole grind and a full sole grind. And that just means there's going to be a wedge out there to suit everyone's, their swing type, the kind of course conditions they normally play. With all 3 of these wedges, I've got the 50 degree, 54 and 60 options, and I've got them all in the mid sole grind. Now, the reason for that is I just find it suits my game the best. It's quite versatile, it's perfect for, I play most of my golf here at Whitecraigs, partland conditions, heading into the winter, a bit soggy, so it's going to suit my relatively steep angle of attack and also the softer conditions I play on. If you tend to play on firm, links-like turf, you've got a really shallow angle of attack, you like to nip the ball off the turf, then the low sole grind will probably be best for you. If you're really steep into the back of the ball, take huge divots, always playing kind of wet underfoot conditions, then the full sole grind, it will be a really good option because it will just help you that little bit more. But plenty of options out there, but I'm just finding for me the mid option is working the best. Now, I'll quickly run you through the numbers I got earlier on today with my SkyTrack while testing with Pro V1 golf balls, and there aren't really any surprises. Hitting the full shot with the 54, going the distance I want, launch angle is relatively low, spin over 10,500 RPM, and the ball flight is that kind of flat trajectory I like to see. I feel like I'm getting most control with that kind of trajectory, so doing exactly what I would expect and hope for from these wedges. Great numbers there. And then we move to the partial shot with the 60 degree. You can see again, spin rate's really high, launch angle quite low, and that trajectory, just that flat trajectory that I feel was going to hop on the green and then grab, just give me that checky kind of shot that I like to see, one that really lets me feel in control of my wedges. So no surprises with the numbers, but at the same time, very impressed. Now on to how I got on out in the golf course, and unsurprisingly, I was a big fan of the ZipCore wedges. They're Cleveland wedges, we know they're going to be good. I think what stood out most was the level of consistency and the spin and feel I was seeing. that's what Cleveland's saying with this new ZipCore technology. When you're missing it a little bit low and high in the face, as you can do with your wedges, it just provides a really nice, consistent feel. It feels nice, it feels solid, and also the spin rates, they don't seem to drop really at all when you're on those slight mishits. You know, when you're catching them out the middle, of course, they're feeling fantastic. I think, you know, as I was saying earlier, this midsole grind, I found it very versatile for me. It worked well around the greens. I could open up the face, play some flop shots, close it down, play wee bump and runs. Just found it really good in and around the green. Spin rates were great. And yeah, in terms of performance, I cannot fault these wedges. The one area, however, where I think it just lets itself down a wee bit is in the looks department. I've always been a fan of Cleveland wedges. You know, they're just classic blade wedge designs. They've always looked really smart. I don't know what it is. There's just something about the ZipCore that isn't really to my liking. I think, you know, just the wee subtle design tweaks we've got with the ZipCore name there, the RTX, I don't know, there's just something about it. Also the fact that we've got, you know, this larger section out towards the top of the blade, that's all part of the ZipCore technology, getting the CG the way where the designers want it. But yeah, just in the bag, that design feature, it just doesn't look, you know, it's not really my cup of tea. Yeah, it's the one area, the only thing that is letting them down in my opinion is in the looks department, but on everything else, they're absolutely fantastic. So, are they the best wedges Cleveland has ever made? Well, they might not be the best looking in my opinion, but they're certainly the best performing. Now, if you have any questions about the ZipCore wedges, just leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. If you've enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and thank you very much for watching.